Hi, Patrice. Hope you are able to see my screen.
Yes, I am able to see your screen.
Okay. I think you have attended our demo session, right? Where we discussed the syllabus and overview of Entra ID.
Yes.
Okay. So, do you have any prior knowledge on Entra ID?
A little bit, yes.
Okay. So, in your organization, do you have any kind of permissions or admin privileges to perform any activity in the Entra ID?
Do we have any permissions that we?
Do you have any admin role assigned for your account in your organization to perform admin activities?
Um, what do we have? I believe we have authentication. That is the main one where we enable MFA. That is the main we have in Entra for our group. For our team, that is the main configuration we have for our team. So yes.
All right. Apart from that, any other activities that you are performing?
No.
Okay, no worries. So today we are going to start our first topic, and our first topic is uses. So uses is simple and yet important topic. So our topic is users. So what do you mean by a user account? Why we need to have a user identity in the Entra ID portal?
Uh, well, the user is the person that needs is just any person in the organization. So if they're going to need to access applications or log in to anything, uh, they would need to be configured properly into the system, right?
Mm-hmm. What else?
Let's see.
Okay, no worries. So in any organization, if you want to access any application or resources, you should have an identity. So an identity is something which represents an object. The object is, it could be a human or a machine or a group or a DL. It could be anything. So you should have an identity in the Entra ID portal to access anything. And that identity contains a username and password. So based on your job responsibilities, admin team will assign appropriate permissions to your account, like adding user admin role, groups admin role, application admin role, and these are some kinds of roles that you might get, isn't it? So for anything, it maybe you are an end user or an admin or a client or a vendor, it could be anything. You should have an identity in the Entra ID portal, and that identity is something we create under users section. And apart from the users in this organization, no one will be able to sign in into your applications. Right? If you want to log in into your office application or office computer, you should have an identity. Without
Correct.
having any username and password, you cannot sign in. So, an identity is something, a crucial object wherein a user should hold to access resources in the environment. Got it? So, in our Entra ID, we have different types of users. Based on their functionality, their responsibility, we will create these identities. Okay, let me put it in this way. Have you heard the terms full-time employee or contractor or vendor?
Yes.
So a full-time employee is something the organization has hired that person for a permanent role, full-time. And similarly, what is a contract employee or a vendor employee? Maybe,
Um,
hmm yes.
Someone who's there for a specific role and is there for and will be for a specific role or project and is there for a limited number of time.
Hmm. So, a contract employee or a vendor is someone who hired for a specific purpose or a specific project which lasts for 6 months or 3 months. Or sometimes some organizations have some third party consultancies. So these consultancies onboard candidates and they do provide these candidates to the projects. So your payroll would be your consultant organization, but you are working for a different organization. Like we can mention that TCS, you know TCS, right? Tata Consultancy Services. So TCS is one of the consultancy organization. Your payroll will be TCS, but you will be working for different organizations, different projects within TCS. This is something you are a consultant for that project organization, but your payroll will be your TCS. Correct? So based on your functionality, your job responsibility, we will be creating an identity in the Azure portal. And while creating an identity in the Entra ID portal, we have again two types of users. One is member user. Maybe let me put it in this way. So imagine this is our Entra ID console. This is member user. Okay. So in our organization, we have few users, and these are our full-time employees, which means as long as they want to work within the organization, they will be having the identity in the Entra ID portal, which means they will be having a username and password. Okay.
Correct.
This is
Yes.
member account. Similarly, as I mentioned, if you have a specific purpose or to perform a specific activity, you need some external person just to perform one activity. Or imagine you have a vendor wherein you want to share some SharePoint files to that vendor. So to share any SharePoint files to an external person, you cannot share that as per organizational security policies. He should have an identity in our Entra ID portal. But he is not our employee. He is not our full time employee. He is associated with a different organization. But he is our vendor and he is working on a different product. And since we have a collaboration between their organization and our organization, there is a requirement wherein we need to share some SharePoint files to that person, and that person is not our employee, he is not our contractor, he is working for a different organization, but the project is same. You are able to correlate this, right? So in such cases, instead of creating a member account, we do not create member account for this user, right? Because he is from a different organization, but we want to share a specific application access or a specific SharePoint file access to this user. In that case, we will be creating a guest account in our tenant. A guest account is something, uh, let's do one thing. So our tenant is hcl.com. Imagine our tenant is HCL organization and this tenant is tcs.com. Okay. We are working for a project wherein HCL employees and TCS employees are part of that project. Now our requirement is we must share a specific application access to a person from TCS organization. So if you are a HCL employee, you will be having some user identity, right? Like I forgot your name, Patrice. Okay,
Yes.
Patrice at hcl.com. This could be your email address. Similarly, imagine I am from TCS. So I will be having Radhika at tcs.com. This will be my user identity, username of my account. Okay. So when you are inviting an external person to your organization, so you are inviting me to access your SharePoint sites, right? Now, if you invite myself to your organization, I will be using my same TCS username as my TCS email address, and password will be my TCS account password. That means a guest user can access external applications with their existing username and password. There won't be different credentials. You will not provide HCL account for me. Got the point here? So when you are inviting a guest user, you don't need to create a separate username and password. The guest user can access your resources using their existing username and password in their organization.
Okay.
So these are the two types of user identities in the Entra ID portal. Now let's go ahead and create new user account. So to create any user account as an admin, at least you should have user admin role, user administrator role. We will discuss more in detail about roles. For now, just understand to manage users, to create user identities, you should have user admin role. Have you created any user identities earlier?
In Entra,
Yes.
at my organization, yes.
Okay. In that case, I think it is easy for me to explain the things since you have some experience on user account creation.
Okay.
As soon as I click on create new user and invite external user, can you see the options? Create a new user, internal user in your organization. Invite external user means invite an external user to collaborate with your organization. What is the collaboration? It could be anything, maybe sharing a SharePoint site or an application or anything. So let's go ahead and create a new user identity. So here UPN, user principal name, is the mandatory field wherein you should create for any user, and domain is something your organization name. Currently, I haven't added anything here. It is the default domain, but for organizations, it would be like a Microsoft.com, TCS.com, HCL.com, like that. Okay, so I'm keeping the default one. I'm adding UPN here. Display name, I'm adding same thing. Password. Do you have your existing test tenant to practice on your own?
Uh, On my own, should I create one?
I'm asking, do you have a
Uh,
test tenant to practice this Entra ID? Do you have your
do
own
I
environment?
do I have my own test tenant? No.
Yes, I'm asking, do you have?
No, I do not have one.
No worries. Since we are creating an user identity here, I will be providing admin privileges to this account. So you can practice from this tenant only. This is my test tenant and you can use for your practicing.
Okay.
So next it is asking first name and last name. So I will do one thing. Address. So you are a member user in our organization. So I'm selecting member, and in real time, you are supposed to enter job title, company name, department, employee ID, employee type, employee hire date, and office location. It is general basic things, right? You would get from HR department. HR department will share the job title of the user. I will do one thing. Job title is IAM engineer, company name Microsoft test, department IT, employee ID, something. I'm just giving some random numbers. Employee type, FTE, full time employee, employee high date, which is your starting date in the organization. So I'm just giving one name. Office location, I will keep it as US, or I'm just keeping it as empty. Now it is asking to add manager name. It is very important to add the manager name for any account, because if you want to make any changes for any user account, or if you reset the password for the user, you cannot directly share with user, right? If you reset your password, imagine you someone has reset your password, but you are not aware of that. Immediately as soon as the password reset done, you won't be able to sign in into your account. Your teams will stop, your outlook will be stopped because password has been reset, right? In such cases, who will help you? Who will help you to raise an incident to the help desk team, to the admin team? It could be your manager. Every time it is your manager. Or if an admin wants to make any changes for the user account and he needs approval from the manager, we should tag or attach the manager here. So your manager is responsible for any changes for your account. If there are any changes that the admin wants to perform, they should take approval from your manager.
Okay.
Next one, contact information. I'm not adding the contact information. There is nothing much that you need to get in here. So parental controls, age group. Suppose if you are a minor, in such cases, we should get consent from your parents or your guardian. So we can select granted. I'm just going to next. It is asking to add groups, roles, and administrative units. So this is something, if the admin wants to add you to any specific set of group, or they want to add any role to perform admin activities, they should add here. So I'm selecting add a role, going to use, I'm selecting user admin. Next, review and create. So I have created an account in our tenant by adding user admin privileges. So now you can sign in into your account and you can practice users part. Are you trying to sign in?
No, I'm not trying to sign in.
Okay. So this is how we create user identity in the Entra ID portal. Okay. So
Okay.
next one, let's understand invite a guest user. So here, if you could observe, it is clearly asking us to add email address. Email address means the external user email address. He might have an email address in his organization, right? That email address we should select here to invite that user. We can invite Gmails, Yahoo Mails, any account other than our tenant email address. So can you do one thing? Do you have any email address, your personal email address? Share it here. I will just invite and you will be able to understand the invitation flow. Share in the chat window.
All right. I'll use my personal email. Okay. Uh, Postage.
Okay. So I have added your email address. So this is to invite. Okay. So I'm
Okay.
just adding one random number. Next, it is asking to add first name, last name, job title, contact information. These are not required, right? These are basic information that you need to get from the user and add the information. Successfully invited the user, which means you have an identity in our organization now. So can you see there is one identity which is a member account and there is one more identity which is a guest account. So hope you have received one email as well to this Gmail address. Did you receive any email?
Let me, yes. I received
Okay,
an invitation.
yeah. So as soon as you receive the invitation, you will be having options to accept the invitation. As an end user, you should accept that invitation. Currently, can you see the invitation state here? It is pending acceptance, which is nothing but you haven't accepted the invitation, and that's the reason it is showing as pending acceptance. But if you accept the invitation, if you follow the instructions, then it will show as accepted. I have invited your account, but you should also perform, you should also accept the invitation to have an identity in our Entra ID portal. Got it?
Yes, I got it.
Okay, I think someone has joined. I'm sorry, how to pronounce your name? Is it Akano?
Um, yeah, sorry about that. Kind of, I was in looking at my phone, so I got the invite so late. But I'm trying to follow everything you're saying.
Hi Akano, I think you joined bit late. No worries. You can go through the recording, and from now you can follow the sessions. Okay. So here in our Entra ID portal, we have two types of users. One is guest user, and another one is member user. Member user is nothing but full-time employees. Okay, like
Okay, got it.
they will be having company username and password. And guest user is something we will be inviting an external user with their personal Gmail address or their personal company email address other than our employees. When somebody wants to have an account, then that user will be considered as a guest user.
Okay.
Okay, so
So
you
the example is the example, just to follow what you're saying. So the example you're giving here is employee that is trying to join the company, right? Is that
yes,
correct?
correct, correct.
Okay, so this is a process you're, so what we've done now is you're onboarding this employee, if I'm correct. Is that correct?
Correct. Imagine this is my organization. Okay, this is my company
Yes.
username and password. Okay, now in my
Okay.
company, I want to share a specific application access to you, but you are not my direct employee. You are working for some other organization.
So like a
In the,
contractor.
yes, you are working for some other organization. You are not my employee. In that
Okay.
case, there is no it doesn't make any sense to create a a member account in our organization because you are not my employee. So in such
Okay.
cases we will go ahead and create a guest account. A guest account is something you can sign in into my tenant into this organization using your guest username and password. Guest username means it could be your Gmail username and password or your company username and password. Or whatever the identity that I am inviting here, you can use the same identity. Okay, you also do one thing. Share your personal email address in the chat window. I will invite your account. You will be able to understand the invitation flow.
So just to follow what you're saying, so I understand the scenario that you're giving here. So in this kind of scenario, so we're using the person's personal email, right?
Yes, in organizations, it could be personal email address or your company email address because you are not a part of my company, you are part of a different organization. So, in your
Okay.
organization, you will be having your username and password, right? Company username and
Yeah.
password, and that
Yes,
that
got it.
email address will be used to invite the user.
Okay, got it.
Share your personal email address
I,
here, so I will
I
invite
already,
your account as well.
I already did.
Okay. So as soon as I invite it, you will receive an email stating to accept the invitation.
Okay. So, so is this like a trial version of Microsoft Entra ID? Do you have to create like an account in order to use the to practice, or how can I have access to the Entra ID portal? How can I do that?
Do you have your own test tenant?
I might have created one though. I'm trying to see if I can. I created one a couple of months ago. I was just messing around with it, but I think it required me to put like um my work email address. But I'm trying to see if I can log back in. So I'm not sure.
No worries, that's not a problem. Even Patrice mentioned that he do not have any personal tenant, so I have created identity in this tenant. So you can also do same thing. You can practice our sessions using the same tenant. We'll be creating a user identity.
So in order to create a tenant, in order to practice, does it require your personal email address, or can
No,
you use your
I
personal
will
email?
I will be creating an identity now, like how we create a full-time employee.